The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And good afternoon to all of you. And before we get to today's topics, and by the way, we're talking live at the bottom of the hour with former Congressman Peter King. But before coming in, I started the day at Citibank in New City. I've been a customer there for many, many years, and some wonderful people at Citibank, right? But I've got a problem that maybe you folks can help me with. So great people at the Citibank in New City, from Lisa to BB to John, who I met today. So on one of my business accounts, right, I just realized that I hadn't set it up online. So they're showing me how to do it. Dominic, this is how you do a token. What is a token? I don't know. So they're explaining all of this stuff to me. So folks, do you have this same dilemma that I have? There are so many user IDs and so many passwords to so many social media accounts, to so many bank accounts, that I can't keep up with all of them. Oh, sorry, Mr. Carter. This user ID has been compromised. This password has been compromised. Please don't use that one again. And so I don't know what it is about my account. Now, I will admit, right, some large transactions, and they will red flag my account at the drop of a dime. I don't know what it is about me. Mr. Carter, did you just do this transaction? We just declined it. Resubmit it. Yeah, but you just embarrassed me by declining it, and now you're acting like it's nothing. So what do you do? What do you do, America, when you've got 45, 50 different user IDs and passwords, and I can't remember any of them? Of course, you have a list, but you can never find a list when you need the list. And I know they have those things online you can set up for, but I'm scared to use them out of fear that becomes compromised. So that's how the day started. And I do want to say this. I'm going to come back to DMS, the lovely DMS on Twitter in just a second. But, she sent me something. You'll understand why I'm focusing on it in a second. But DMS, she was one of numerous people. You folks were kind enough to buy my brand new Dominic Carter t-shirts. You know this show is unfiltered. It's about accountability, and that's what the t-shirt is all about. Thank you, DMS. She was one of about 15 people yesterday that purchased the shirt. You can go take a look at the shirt or my children's books done by me and my family. Go to DominicCarterBooks.com, DominicCarterBooks.com. Okay, so let's get to it now. I'm going to come back to DMS. The NYPD is now tracking down the thugs, those savages that ambushed and beat that Queens couple during the fiery, illegal street takeover this weekend. What happened wasn't just chaos. It was lawlessness on full display. And now the clock is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tick tock. Hopefully you're going to jail. But I come back to the lovely DMS on Twitter. So she sent me something. She posted on Twitter, and she said on Twitter, and you're about to hear the audio. It's of an African-American father on accountability. And she wrote, "Did you write this for him? Sounds awfully familiar." And all I could do was smile, because DMS has me pegged. I might as well should have wrote the speech for the man. I want you to listen to this, and then I'm coming right back to what happened in Queens.
On my mother's side, my ancestors were enslaved in Alabama. On my father's side, we were enslaved in Texas. I am not oppressed. I'm not oppressed, and I'm not a victim. I'm neither oppressed nor a victim. I travel all across this country of ours. And I check into hotels, and I fly commercially, and I walk into retail establishments, and I order food in restaurants. I go wherever I want, whenever I want. I am treated with kindness, dignity, and respect, literally from coast to coast. I have 3 children. They are not oppressed either, although they are victims. I've taught my children they are victims of 3 things: their own ignorance, their own laziness, and their own poor decision making. That is all. We are not victims of America. We are not victims of some unseen 190-year-old force that kind of floats around in the ether. I can think of nothing more damaging to a society than to tell a baby born today that she has grievances against another baby born today simply because of what their ancestors may have done 2 centuries ago. Putting critical race theory into our classrooms is not combating racism. It's fanning the flames of what little embers are left. Let racism die the death it deserves.
And so, DMS, again, thank you for sending that to me. And yes, I could have wrote those comments myself, because sometimes, folks, I do have to pinch myself and say, wait a minute. I hear all of this whining all the time about racism, but I don't encounter it. Everywhere I go across now maybe it's the media thing. People find out I'm in media and they don't mess with me. I don't know. But everywhere I go across America, what that man just said, that's my experience. I don't have people telling me no, that I can't do this, I can't do that. First of all, I wouldn't listen. I'm all about opportunity, and no matter where I am in America or Canada or anywhere I'm traveling, I just don't see it. I'm sorry. So I do want you to think about something. These thugs, the ones in Queens, thanks to the coddling from Biden and Obama, yes, Obama, they think they have a right to go to someone's residential neighborhood where the people that are there, that are living there, pay taxes. They pay for the upkeep of their homes. And they think they have a right to engage in drag racing in the dead of night, doing donuts on the pavement, leaving marks on the pavement. And when such one homeowner says enough is enough, accountability, and comes outside and tells them, listen, you got to leave. Please get off of my lawn. They're all standing there on that same lawn. And not only does the wolf pack attack, beating him and stomping him into the ground, but his wife tries to stop it and they punch her in the face. Now, I'm all about fairness. By the way, let's open the phone lines. 800-848-9222. I'm all about fairness. Just imagine, let's flip the script for a moment. Just imagine a scene. A black homeowner says the same thing to a group of white kids, telling them to leave. And it's caught on video. 8 to 10 white males laughing and viciously beating a black man into the ground and then surrounding the black man's wife and punching her in the face. Imagine the scenario of how this would play out. Just flip the script and change the perpetrators from black to white. Imagine how this would play out. This is a report from NBC News here in New York City.
Police towing the charred remains of a car, a stark reminder of the destruction left behind. Councilwoman Vicky Palladino described the scene.
Saturday night, they declared war on Malba. Those outsiders who came here declared war on this neighborhood.
She shared these videos on her social media showing more than 50 cars gathering near 141st Street and Boulevard. Resident Larry Rush tried to stop them.
I moved the car into the middle to slow it down, and it did. They kind of started leaving. Matter of fact, they started leaving from this street, and then they lit the thing on fire, and then it just went chaotic again.
The burning car was only part of the chaos. Down the block, a man who asked to be identified as Blake confronted several people standing in his driveway. He went outside to ask them to leave.
So when you say get off my property and all you see is people videotaping and saying this is what we do.
The confrontation recorded by the visitors. Blake was jumped, kicked, and punched in front of his wife. She tried to push people off of him.
Fractured nose, fractured shoulder, fractured bone in my face, a few fractured ribs, and this fracture in my neck with the cartilage, and I'm lucky to be standing here.
Blake is back home recovering, but he wants to share his story in the hopes that this never happens again.
Nobody deserves this, no matter where you live.
This happened on his own front lawn. His own front lawn. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, Obama, for telling these reckless kids that are brain dead, oh, you have a right to do whatever you want, wherever you want. Thank you, Obama. Thank you, Biden. You've got millions, and you've created generations of complete dysfunction. 800-848-9222. Let's see here. Let's go to Mike in Connecticut, line 3. 2 days, less than 48 hours from Thanksgiving. Mike, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just this burnouts in the street. Was that happening in the city? I forgive me. I didn't hear was it the Queens?
In Queens, yes.
Okay, now I want to go back to the politicians that they completely disarmed the people of New York City. So all these people here, and that woman, I know most, a lot of people are the city. They vote for these politicians. They're anti-gun. They would never fire a gun at somebody. If I have a loved one that's being assaulted, I guarantee you, my wife is going to get every single thing that I have in my arsenal and unload on these bastards. Just like the guy, I want to ask you, Dominic. I'm going to go ride a city bus later, and I'm going to douse a black woman with gasoline as an old white guy. What the hell do you think would happen to the city that we're in when this happens? It's just you have to. I'm mad as hell. You have to learn how to get a firearm, and you have to ask the politicians in Queens, the Mondamis, and even the Giulianis, everybody going back, and all the police commissioners, all of it that won't sign permits for people to have firearms. Why not? Why not? All right, this is indiscriminate garbage would stop if they knew that it was not going to happen.
Mike, I'm with you. I'm with you on everything that you said. However, herein lies the problem. And I'm going to be straight with you. And here's why I'm pointing out the race, because the public has a right to know. Right now in Queens, an elderly white man, who killed a man that was robbing him, it's all caught on video, wasn't charged with murder or manslaughter, but they did come at him on weapons charges. This elderly white man is due. Prosecutors wanted him to be locked up immediately after he took I think he took a deal. And the judge is letting him stay out for the holidays. And this elderly man, who happens to be white, is going to jail for doing exactly what you just said, what you just pointed out, because in this day and age, thanks to Biden, thanks to Obama, the people that are the perceived victims, they get a pass, and the people that are being attacked, they are the ones that go down, and the perpetrators get to walk. And so I feel your pain. I really do, Mike. I'm late for a break, and Mike is right. Now just think about this. This has happened. Mike is 1,000% correct. This happened in Charlotte. It's now happened in Chicago. Black suspects, white women minding their business. Poof. You're on fire. The woman in Charlotte is dead. The mayor tried to poo-poo the situation in Charlotte. She tried to make it go away. In Chicago, this 26-year-old woman from a good family is fighting for her life. And President Trump has addressed that situation just today, the one in Chicago. We are coming right back.
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Grabbing the holidays by the boughs with Duluth. Step 1. Hire a mall Santa to handle snow removal.
Ho, ho, ho! My sciatica.
Step 2. Hit Duluth Trading and load up on fire hose pants, buck naked underwear, pocket pack bibs, free swinging flannel, and all kinds of ingenious gear you won't find anywhere else. Grab the holidays by the boughs and shop Duluth Trading. Online and in-store.
From writer-director Ryan Johnson.
The Holy Grail. A perfectly impossible crime.
Wake Up Dead Man has critics singing its praises.
God help me. Anything else?
It's a deliciously entertaining mystery.
That's nice.
It's certified fresh.
It's a miracle.
Okay, you're freaking me out now.
It's the best Knives Out movie yet.
This case is solvable, right?
Oh, you'll see. It's fun.
Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery starring Daniel Craig. Now played in select theaters on Netflix December 12th. Rated PG-13.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
In 4 long years, Joe Biden secured less than $1 trillion. In 9 short months, I've secured $18 trillion to rebuild our factories, create hundreds of thousands of jobs, and bring back those beautiful words, made in America. So think of that. He did less than $1 trillion in 4 years. And in 9 months, we've done more than $18 trillion, okay? That's called success.
And thank you, Mr. President, for being so successful on behalf of all of us, on behalf of the American people. Let's go back to your telephone calls on this Tuesday, Thanksgiving week. Let's see here. Let's go to Marlene in Montclair, New Jersey, line 4. Marlene, what's on your mind?
Well, there's a lot on my mind, Dominic, frankly. I'm just tired of people looking around with a chip on their shoulder and thinking they're self-righteous. The only justice these perpetrators want is leveling the playing field, neutralizing others, and they call it a victory. It's nothing of the sort. It's absolutely criminal. And I'm done with the constant idiocy of the left's daily attacks on Trump. I can't take it anymore. I'm ready to explode.
Well, you know, Marlene, I don't want you to explode. What I do want to ask you is, why don't you just ignore it? I mean, it should be like a duck, water off your back. Let them say whatever they want. We all know they don't know what they're talking about.
Okay, all right, you got me there. But
I would just try it, because if you do it any other way, it's like fighting a pig in mud. You can't win. You're on their home court. You know, just ignore these fools. I shouldn't call them fools. Let's just say they're disillusioned, and they've been on this Democrat plantation for far, far too long. Hey, Marlene, I'm just curious. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, I got a call from my son on Friday. He said his mother-in-law doesn't cook very well. Can he come over? I said, come on over.
So he needs you to be the cover because his mother-in-law doesn't cook very well?
Yeah, that's why I don't want to mention any names.
I got it. So you're going to do some cooking?
I'm always doing cooking. I'm Italian, Dominic. I never stop cooking.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand that about Italian women, notably, Debbie Lobato of Staten Island. That lady, I went to her house and had food. I don't think I'll never be the same. But thank you, Marlene, for the wonderful call. Let's go here. It says hailstorm in Freeport, Long Island. What's on your mind? Line 5.
Hey, hello. How are you? You guys are doing a great job. I love the station.
Well, thank you.
Wild dog mentality of these kids.
That's a
that
good way
riding
of putting
around
it.
like
Wild
nuts
dogs.
And everything else.
Yes.
Wild dogs, and they had to know where they meet. They had to do it 2 or 3 times. So I don't know who fell asleep at the switch. They should have unmarked police there to nip it in the bud. And 45 years ago, in Francis Lewis Boulevard, Northern.
Hailstorm, I'll give you the option of holding if you want to. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo.
There's no Milo here. Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned. What are you gonna do?
I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock. The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And this holiday season, help the Red Apple Audio Networks feed those in need. Go to redappleaudionetworks.com/ Turkey. Join Red Apple Audio Network's AARP New York City, the Police Athletic League, Gristedes and D'Agostino's supermarkets, and nationwide imaging services as we deliver holiday meals more than 5,000 families across the city, to more than 5,000 families across the city. We were in Harlem on Saturday, and it was quite a sight to be amongst the people and do exactly that. Go to redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. That's redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. So I'm now going to bring in former Congressman Peter King to join me live to Hailstorm and Freeport, and we see all you folks. Hold on for a few minutes. Let me talk to the congressman. Then we'll be going back to your calls. Congressman Peter King, how are you, sir?
Dominic, I'm doing fine. Wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Rosemary is not in the house right now, but she told me when Dominic calls, tell him happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, isn't that nice? Who does the cooking? She, you, or do you cater?
Well, not only does she do it, she doesn't allow me near the kitchen. She thinks I'm totally useless and dangerous.
You're not the only one. I'm not allowed near the kitchen either, especially on big holidays. Get out of my way. Get out of my way.
Right.
That's what I'm told. So are you told that, Congressman?
Yeah, not many times. I just gave up a long time ago, but yeah,
Fair enough.
That's what I'm told.
So will you be watching football while your wife is cooking?
Oh yeah, watch that. Also, my son is coming out, my sister, and so it's a chance to just talk things over and have a good day. And all of us have a lot to be thankful for. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. Congressman, you live in a residential neighborhood. I live in a residential neighborhood. Explain this to me, what happened in Queens over the weekend. Congressman King, I don't get it because, listen, I'm going to say something that I know you won't, right? Or you probably won't. But if this were the other way around and a black man was attacked by a large group of white male teenagers, pummeling him into the ground, punching his wife in the face, it would be the lead story across America on his own lawn. But it happened to a white family. And the man's wife was attacked. He was beat into the ground. These kids, all of them of color, for some reason, they think they can come to a residential neighborhood. They don't pay a dime of taxes. They probably don't even know what taxes are. And just do whatever they want. This sense of entitlement. Congressman King, what is going on?
Yeah, listen, it's really, it takes a lot for you to say that, and that's been characteristic of you throughout your whole career, though you say it, but unfortunately not many people do. I join you in what you're saying, but it's a lot easier for me to say than it is for you, so I give you credit for that. Now, there is a double standard. There's a double standard that's out there, and, there's bad people in all races, but somehow the media thinks if they play up the whites when they do something wrong, something illegal or something even questionable, you're right, it becomes a nationwide story. And ignoring the fact that, for instance, when we're talking about crime, that most crimes against blacks are committed by other blacks.
Absolutely.
And all of us have deficiencies in our ethnic groups and races. But the fact is, when it's only reported from one aspect, it makes it so misleading. So around the world, they think that basically, if a black man walks down the street, he's a target by any white, and nothing's going to happen to him. I mean, that's the whole. It's the guy who carries out the shooting or the stabbing. It's just wrong. And what's happening in Queens, I can't believe this. This is, I guess, a phenomenon of the last few years. So this taking over of blocks and there's groups coming in and taking over, people being attacked. It's strange things going on in our society today. And part of it, I think, is because there is such a double standard, and that the cops' hands are tied. Then sometimes the cops should be doing more and they don't. You wonder what's happening there. And the synagogue in the city was attacked the other day, and I was glad to see Jessica Tisch step up on that. But no, it's a very unfortunate situation when listen. There's no doubt there were many years, many decades in this country where blacks were not treated fairly by law enforcement or by the system. The fact is, every group has something to that effect. Some way they suffered, blacks suffered more than most, but we moved so far beyond that and we're just going to dwell on everything that goes wrong and ignore that goes right, and then be unbalanced in who we criticize, it's going to make for a more divided society.
Congressman King, what happened in Chicago? A number of incidents as of late. And Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, they don't want the National Guard there. They don't want to listen to President Trump. Innocent people are dying. You have the 26-year-old woman. This happened now in Charlotte and in Chicago. Each victim happened to be white, female. Each perpetrator alleged to have committed these crimes, now federally charged, are African-American males. This man arrested 72 times. He douses this 26-year-old woman with gasoline. And, you know, up until a week prior, he was out on the street. How do we begin to change this? Because I blame Biden for his soft on crime policies, do anything to get elected, and his cohort, if you will, Obama. How do we change? Something has to give. Now that's just one incident. So it's happened in Charlotte on a train. It's happened in Chicago on a train. Then you have the incident where, and I hate to put the focus on race so much, you had a black mother attacked by all black elementary school kids, a wolf pack, and they beat this pregnant woman as her son tried to hold her and shield her stomach because she's pregnant and she has sickle cell anemia. Just your reaction to these two incidents?
Absolutely horrifying. In fact, my daughter lives in Charlotte, and she was telling me what an impact that has had on the community down there. And here's a woman who, you know, the victim in that case had gotten away from Ukraine. Here she had gotten away from all the suffering, and now on a commuter train, sitting there, not bothering anybody, not even knowing anything was going to happen. It wasn't even like there was a fight or something on the train and she tried to avoid it. She was just sitting there, and unknown to her, she was attacked. And it was just, it's terrible. And I think, you know, the answer is, I do blame a lot of it on the Bidens and the Obamas, the way they conduct themselves, but also a lot of it goes to the media, it goes to the education system, it goes to especially, you know, the universities, the way they've been teaching people over the years, the way so many teachers are way over on the liberal side. And, you know, it certainly makes you feel good when you say you're going to be easygoing with someone, you're going to give somebody a second chance, and you feel good about it. But how do you feel then for the person that gets killed, or the person that gets raped, or the person that gets abused by that person that you were so kind and generous to, knowing it's never going to hurt you? I mean, that's the thing I get a kick out of. Usually the people who are saying we should be the great liberals, we should be much more merciful. Well, the other ones who are never going to be attacked, if they started getting attacked, I guess it was a Mario Procacino calling them the limousine liberals. I mean, it's great to be a liberal and open-minded when it doesn't affect you. But if you're the working class person, the man or woman, if you're the African-American family trying to raise your kids in a tough neighborhood and trying to get them a good education, and then you have the so-called liberals undermining you by going easy on the teachers, by calling the cops back, not letting the cops carry out the procedures they should, the main victims there are not the cops. In the end, they can take care of themselves, even though it's tough, don't get me wrong. But the people who really suffer are the people who live in those communities, in those neighborhoods, who are trying to get out, who are trying to have their kids live decent lives in a tough environment. And the environment stays tough unless the cops are allowed to do their job, unless the teachers impose some kind of discipline in the schools and don't tell kids it's okay, just don't do it again. Or if they see the guy down the block who does commit crimes getting locked up and then he's back on the street the next day and the cop is still in the station and is filling out forms.
So, Congressman King, I have two questions for you. Then I'll get back to the phones and we'll let you get ready for your Thanksgiving. So, President Trump, a short time ago, spoke out about the incident in Chicago with the 26-year-old woman that was set on fire. She's fighting for her life. Congressman King, this man was arrested 72 times and has only done about 2.5 years in prison total, in jail total. How is that?
That's the type of thing, the type of incident that causes people to lose faith. And you have that mayor and the governor. If you listen to them, the most dangerous person in the United States today is not the guy who put the poor woman on fire. The most dangerous person is Donald Trump. The most dangerous people are the National Guard and the cops. I mean, that's how crazy and how their world was turned upside down. And these are leaders, the governor, the mayor, and instead of standing with law enforcement, instead of standing with the president who was trying to make our streets safe, they attack him, and the criminals are allowed to run wild. It's indefensible, and it's just a terrible, terrible sign for the country.
I close this way, Congressman Peter King. President Trump, the meeting, 4 days ago, Mamdani and the president in the Oval Office. It was an odd meeting, but what I always say about President Trump is don't forget, he's always playing chess when others are playing checkers. So help me understand this, what happened in the Oval Office, that meeting. And I thought it was disgusting that afterwards Mamdani showed no class when the president issued an olive branch to this man.
Yeah, I hope the president had more in mind. I was actually, to be honest with you, disappointed the way it turned out. I think they could have met. They could have had honest differences. I think the president went too far in reaching out to Mamdani. Mamdani did not reciprocate. For him to be saying the next day and still saying that President Trump is a fascist after President Trump went out of his way to try to bring him into the fold, to try to make him acceptable. So I hope the president, listen, no one has to tell Donald Trump how to conduct things. I just wish, though, that from my perspective, he could have been tougher on Mamdani. And maybe he's not, unlike you and me, maybe he's not used to dealing with guys like Mamdani. He's used to dealing with tough businessmen. But there's something about people who come from the streets of New York, even though he's had a very upper-class upbringing, but he's from the streets. He knows how to conduct himself, Mamdani, to try to knife you in the back. Anyway, you have to be on your lookout for them.
I wish he would have got the Zelensky treatment. Congressman Peter King, happy Thanksgiving to you, your wife, your kids. Thank you for being you, Congressman. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dominic. Again, thank you for being you, who you are. I've listened to you for years. And hopefully I'll be around for many more to listen to you.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Hopefully I'll be around. Thank you, Congressman King. So, folks, we are going back to your telephone calls. I was talking to Hailstorm in Freeport, Long Island a second ago, but I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex, the lovely Debbie Lebedo. Debbie says, Dominic, I'm in Florida prepping Thanksgiving dinner with my daughter-in-law and my son, and my husband came in the kitchen and we took our shotguns out. No men in the kitchen. That's the way it is in my household, Debbie. Well, especially on a holiday meal, I'm not allowed anywhere near the kitchen. If I want to get breakfast, lunch, and then, eventually dinner's served, and then we can, so maybe it's a female thing. Maybe it's a female thing. Let's go back to Hailstorm. I apologize. You've been on hold this long, Hailstorm. Go right ahead.
That's okay. Probably 45 years ago, Francis Lewis Boulevard, north of Northern Boulevard, they used to race there. And the neighbors got tired of it, and they put down oil, okay? And these hot rods went out of control, and I think people seriously got hurt. Now, there's this band of garbage. What were they, motorcycles or
Cars.
Okay, so if you drive a car recklessly, now it's a weapon. So now
Absolutely,
you should take
a very
the
powerful weapon
away. Take the now it's considered a weapon. Take the vehicle away. Check out all the cameras in the area, and I'm sure they were doing this 2 or 3 times
repeatedly.
A week. Who fell asleep at the switch and not set up undercover police?
Well, remember, Hailstorm, I do have to move on. Thank you for the call. Remember, we shy away from undercover police. They're bad, right? The street crimes unit, officers that really, not to say that other officers don't get the job done, but the officers that really got the criminals nervous, they don't have to worry about that anymore because of political correctness. Oh no, we can't have the street crimes unit. Oh no. Officers that say we own the night. Oh no, we can't have that. The criminals own the night. And I would put down oil, and I'm telling you, somebody's going to get shot because these people are paying taxes, they're paying high mortgages, and those animals need to stay out of their community. I said it, I meant it, I'm not backing up. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. We're, a day and a half away from Thanksgiving. So, who knew? I thought it was just in my household. For years, when I'm at home on a holiday, a major meal, I'm not allowed to go anywhere near the kitchen. I can't even walk in the kitchen. So why is that? Why is that? And this is a joke, folks. This is a joke, what I'm about to say. Why is it Black Friday? Why has it got to be Black Friday? I know the answer. I'm only joking around. It's Black Friday because it's the first time of the year that many of these retailers that have been in the red the entire year, it's the first time they turn a profit. So they go from the red to the black. But still, why it's got to be Black Friday? Back to your telephone call. Sandra, New Jersey, line 5. What's on your mind, Sandra?
Well, you'll never guess who I had lunch with today. Someone you like very much.
Okay. Are you driving? I hit a windshield.
Yes, I'm leaving. I'm coming back. I'm leaving Brooklyn, and I'm heading to New Jersey. I met Judith, your favorite caller.
No.
Yes. Yes,
no, so you two had lunch.
We had lunch. Dominic, I'm a recruiter. That's what I did all my life. I love to meet people who appeal to me, who intrigue me. She absolutely has, and I met her, and she's exactly like she sounds on the phone. Full of life, wonderful, warm, just a very wonderful experience I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you two order for lunch?
Well, she took me to this restaurant. I'm boring to eat out with, okay? I got my boring fish, but delicious fish, vegetables, and a salad. But they had blintzes there. They had eggplant parmesan. They had soup. They had pasta and a sauce. But I don't eat that stuff. I'm no fun when it comes to eating out. But
right. You do the 100 laps in the pool. But go ahead, Sandra.
So I loved my time spent with Judith, and then I got to see my home that my mother, she passed away, and we sold my home on 79th Street to a true patriot. And I passed by the house, and it looked more beautiful, and the 2129 was lit up, and my mother would be so happy if she knew that the house is in beautiful hands. So I was crying a little bit at that point, and now I'm heading home, and yeah, emotional day.
Well, you have to drive carefully, and thank you for the call. Are you cooking Thanksgiving? No offense, Sandra, you don't really seem like the type that cooks, or am I wrong?
You know what, Norman, you have a very good question. Guess who's joining us for Thanksgiving? Another favorite caller of yours, Norman.
Wow, that's wonderful. So you folks got a little posse going there.
Well, I love these people. They're great. So we're going to go to a restaurant in the city called 18, and it happens to be a kosher restaurant. And so that's where we're going to all go. But you don't have to. You can have. I'm going to have a turkey burger and French fries. I'm splurging, but you can get turkey, you can get fish, you can get steak, you can get sushi, which my daughter will probably get. So it's going to be fun. And I'm going to be with my family, and it's going to be nice.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. So the next time Liz in Florida is up, you guys got to have her as well. But I think you have already had a meal with her, correct? No?
Absolutely. I think twice we did.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Well, thank you so much for the great call, Sandra. I'm glad you had fun with Judith. Let's see here. Quickly, let's go to Pete and Hackensack. Pete, we've got 30 seconds left to the program. Go right ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Dominic, for taking the call. First, happy Thanksgiving. And
thank you, Pete. Pete, we got 20 seconds left now. You got to get to the point.
Okay. Singapore. Comment on Singapore. There's no crime, no lawlessness there. It's free from crime. How can we get that here?
That's a great question. I don't have the answer off the top of my head, but we got to stop these savages, these animals. Number one, they're children. How can you say that, Dominic? They're savages. Stop them. Their mama didn't teach them anything. The criminal justice system has to take on that responsibility. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to the Towers Foundation at T2T.org. I'm back at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?